welcome to Moments with Titi. This is a program that has been specially designed to deal with issues that both Christians and non-Christians are facing in the society. In the present days, we face a lot of issues, and sometimes being Christian, we are not able to ask these questions. You know, you don't put up your hands to ask questions during service in a church. But on this platform, we'll be looking at those issues and we'll be providing solutions to them. And with me today, I have three intelligent individuals. You'll be glad to meet them to deal with the topic that we have for you today. So let me introduce my guests to you. On my left, I have Vanessa Makole. She's a makeup artist. You need to say her work. And she's a media personality. Vanessa, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Next to Vanessa is Tomi. And he's also into media. And he's doing some great job. You need to listen to him today. You are most welcome, Tomi Moyan.
Thank you for having me.
You are most welcome. Next to him is Calvin Maya. He's a songwriter, a pop singer, and is a social media personality as well himself. You are welcome to the show today.
Thanks for having me.
You are most welcome. So the topic before us today is one of those issues that plague both the young and the old. And that topic is self-love. It doesn't matter how old you are, if you don't love yourself, there is an issue. So today, we are going to talk about self-love and self-worth. So come with me as we have a great time together. Now, I want to throw the question open to my guest today. And I want to ask the question, what is self-love to you? Can I start with Calvin, if you don't mind?
Oh, wow.
What is self-love? What do you understand by self-love? Just be yourself and just tell, what do you understand by self-love? What is it? What does it mean to you?
I think for me, self-love is about, for me, it's internal happiness. Internal appreciation.
Okay.
You being able to look yourself in the mirror and hype yourself.
Good.
I do that a lot.
Okay.
I wake up in the morning, look at myself, I'm like, oh, you're good looking.
Do you actually do that?
I do that.
Wow.
I don't need people to tell me how I look. I don't need people to tell me if I'm good or not. No, I love myself enough to know that, okay, I'm good enough for this. I'm doing well in this area of my life. I gas myself up.
I see. I feel like giving you high fives for saying that you do that to yourself.
Yeah,
do you know a lot of people do not actually do that? So I thank you for saying that. Vanessa, let me hear the female side of this issue. Vanessa, what do you have to say about self-love and self-love?
The moment you asked the question, I went back and I was thinking that, like, I think when I was a child, when I was much younger, I thought it was a very superficial definition of love. The other day, I was working and my mom said that, you know, the reason why we're talking about relationships and what worked and what didn't work out, you know, she was like, the reason why you don't trust people is because you don't trust yourself. And the reason you don't trust yourself is because you don't keep your word. Now
That's deep. That's deep.
I was also like, ooh. Now I understand that self-love is honoring myself before expecting it from other people. So whether it be exactly like you said, words of affirmation to myself, honoring that and respecting it. If you say you're beautiful, you must act accordingly. Act like a lady. You know, if you say you are a person of integrity, keep to your word. If you're gonna say, although you know I was late, but try to keep your word, like, you know, because if you honor your truth, you love yourself. For me, that's what self-love is.
Now let me ask you. You actually said something like you tell yourself, "I am beautiful." Do you do that?
Probably not. I don't know. Like I think there's a very. I get my. I'm gonna say this, and I hope people don't take offense. I'm bringing in the Bible. The more I surrender to God, the more I feel loved. There was a season in my life where, you know how they say when you're in high school, tell yourself you love yourself, look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
I felt good for a period.
Okay.
But you know that steady self-love that's not shaken by the world? I feel I don't get that deep self-love, that rooted self-love, whatever that goes on, whether I'm in a good season, only when I surrender to God. Only when I abide, that's the word. When I abide to God's word, that's when I feel fulfilled. I don't need things from the world. And so I don't even need to look at myself in the mirror and say, you're beautiful, because the maker of the world loves my soul.
You look beautiful. Obviously, you look
superficial things. We hope we're beautiful inside.
No, you are beautiful. You are beautiful. So let me throw the question to you, Tomi. What do you have to say? What is self-love to you? Self-worth? What is it to you?
Self-love to me is what I love about myself,
Okay.
and what is myself. So I know I'm a tripartite being, spirit, soul, and body.
Yeah.
So what do I love in those dimensions of myself? What do I love about my spirit? What do I love about my body? And what do I love about my soul?
Okay.
That is what I see. Then if I understand those things, I will be able to love myself even more deeper when I have an understanding of that. So that's self-love to me.
All right. You said what you love about yourself. I'm going to put you on the spot now.
All right.
What do you love about yourself?
So you know, at different stages of my life, there were things I loved about myself. So when I was growing up as a boy, I loved that I was an athlete. I was very athletic. I wanted to go into the military, which I did for a little bit of my life.
You did?
I wanted to become an army, you know, and yes, so I did that. I went to a military school and all that. I love that about myself because I understood my energy. So as I grew older, then I began to love the qualities that God has put inside of me. I understood the kind of drive and where that energy came from, and I understood what it was needed for as I grew older. So those are the things I love about myself. I love the qualities and the resource God has put inside of me. So those are the things I've fallen in love most in my life. Yeah.
That's good. You know, for every one of us, I want to believe there are moments where we have to discover we love ourselves. I want to ask you, Vanessa, when can you, I'm not asking for a specific date, where thereabouts in your life do you come to that realization? I think I love myself, you know. I think I've come to accept who I am. So when did that happen in your life?
Oh, actually recently, okay, I'm gonna cut the long story short. Something happened in my life that was quite traumatic, and I had to forgive myself.
Okay.
I had to forgive myself, and having met God's grace there, it's the first time that I have to be like, I think forgiving, you know, people say that forgive yourself. It's like such a soft, people say forgive yourself, like it's as if like it's a surface thing, but when you're having to forgive yourself is first identifying the blackness, and then surrendering the blackness to God, and then saying, I'm no longer taking this on, and I'm laying this down.
Okay.
That's when I identified, and I came, like I was like, the question was loving yourself. I think the moment I was able to forgive myself is when I fully, because before it was, I feel like it was very superficial, and then I grew up Christian, everything was Christian. I think I was very righteous in my thinking, in my ways of life, even in my making friends. Like, you don't make friends of a certain caliber, like, but I don't mean caliber in terms of classism, in terms of they walk with life, or they walk with God. So you're just like, you're not my type, you're not my type. And now when you grow up, you collide with real things. And so when you have to forgive yourself, you're realizing that, okay, we're all human. And I think that humility made me love myself, like the real self.
The real self.
Yeah.
Okay, so at one point you get to the point of loving your real self.
Yeah.
All right. I'll come back to Kelvin now. Now, in loving yourself, did you have to do anything extra, something out of ordinary that Kelvin normally does? Do you have to do anything to love Kelvin?
No, I think being me is you being able to wake up in the morning. If I want to walk to the shop, I do it.
All right.
I don't care about what anybody says. I don't see people. I think that's the right way. If you're a millionaire, if you come in here with a Ferrari, I don't see you. Oh, I saw you on MTV last week. Why are you taking a walk to Pick and Pay? I'm like, because I want to take a walk to Pick and Pay. You know, I'm very, I think the social word would be self-absorbing. I think people start saying you're self-absorbing when you don't give in to them. I put on cologne, I'm like, oh, I love myself. Oh, I like the way I am right now. Some people have to do things so that people can love them. You know, I so much believe in myself that I feel anything I do, if you're going to love me, you're going to love me. If you don't like me, you don't like me. So I just stay true to myself. I don't lie to myself that I'm this and I'm not. I stay true to myself. I know my capacity financially. I know where I can go and spend this amount of money. I don't have to do it so that you like me. If I want to spend $500, that's what I want to spend.
That's good. That's good. So I like that part that you said you like to stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
Now I'll come to Pastor. I want to ask a question about this self-love. There are some people, they find it difficult to love themselves. And they find it easier to love other people. They don't feel worthy. They don't have self-esteem. If I may ask then, since we have such people and they might be listening to us, my question now is, how do we develop self-love for ourselves?
Wow, that's a very, very broad question, and there's no one answer fit all to that kind of a question, because you need to understand that for someone not feeling that self-love, what has triggered that? What is their journey? How did they get to not having self-love for themselves? Some might be because of their upbringing, family background, where they've seen abuse over time in the family they grew up in. Some might be they were abused directly. Some might be rejection even at a younger age. I mean, I'll give an instance where in primary school, I used to move with a crowd, both male and female. Primary school. I used to have like 13 other people in my gang. Right.
So you are a crowd puller.
So I'm a crowd puller. If I tell you I don't want you in my crew, you might feel rejected, and that can affect you.
True.
Do you understand? So, and what were we then? We were children, but that goes a long way in some people's life.
True.
It might be your own family rejecting you. It might be your mother, your father rejecting you, your cousins rejecting you. So there's no one answer to fit why people are not, having self-love for themselves. But then when you grow older and you are informed, that can help you to start checking where it all went wrong. Why don't I have self-love for myself? Then you start fixing that, and so that would be my answer to the question.
What, if I'm hearing you correctly,
Yes.
It seems you were saying that you need to examine yourself and find where you are at that time. To examine yourself in the sense that, do I love myself?
Yeah.
Have I come to accept myself who I am?
Yes.
All right. In case you're listening to this program, before we go to the next question, if you are yet to subscribe, I need you to do that. I'm not going to point like most people do, but you know where the button is. Please subscribe, like, comment, and turn on the notification button so that you can always be notified of our next video. I trust it's going to be an awesome time joining us every time. So back to you, I'm still on, you mentioned a series of what can lead to somebody not loving themselves and all that. And we know that there is a list of that. There is no end to that list. All right. If, let's paint a scenario that I'm one person that I've been rejected. I've not come to accept who I am. I've come across some ladies that say, no, my skin color is too dark. And they've not come to accept that shade of color they have. So if you were to talk to such a person, what will you say to them? Like, I know I'm intelligent, but my skin is too dark. What will you say to such a person?
So the way I tackle those kind of questions or those kind of people and how I advise them is, you have to see yourself as a product.
Okay, as a product.
So I use an Apple, all my gadgets are Apple products. Why? Some people use products because of the name. Some people use it because they understand the quality of that product and what it can deliver, the resource, the worth in that product. And that's what I tell people, see yourself as a product.
Okay, as a product.
So every product has a manufacturer.
Yes.
And every product is manufactured for something.
True.
So you need to go back to that. What was I manufactured for?
Correct.
Why was I manufactured?
Love that.
Who manufactured me? When you begin to tick, and in this context as believers, and even to the people out there that are listening, You know, you need to understand we all came from somewhere. In my sense, I believe I came from God. I was formed in his image and after his likeness. So if you're a believer struggling with self-worth, do you know that you are from God and you are from God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit? So there's a quality, and do you understand who that God is? Then you understand who you are and where you're from. Then what were you manufactured for? Why did God form me in my mother's womb?
Okay.
Because after he has formed me, he has put all the qualities I need in life to fulfill my destiny in life inside of me when he was forming me. So I wasn't a mistake. So I need to understand that. Then I begin to tackle some of the questions. So another man's opinion, who was also created like me and put in this world, does not matter. Whose opinion matters is my creator, my manufacturer. What he says about me is what counts, not what another person has said about me. So I need to itemize what questions I need to answer. And the best person that will answer that question is me.
I see.
So I need to get into that and begin to tick the boxes. So when
in that process,
yes.
sorry, I'm
No, that's
jumping
fine.
In that process, it means I need to understand who my creator is.
Who my creator is.
But what if you're not a believer?
Okay.
I mean, because this is like all biblical, the belief
Alright.
in God and everything. Yeah. To a layman that doesn't know God and all of that, what do you have to do?
Okay, I may come in there to say I will still direct it to
Yes.
Yeah, I'm directing it to him
directed.
because I've been listening. Everything is biblical, and I'm
You are
thinking,
the
okay, what if I don't believe in God?
Yeah. Okay, so you know, to answer the question, you need to understand the world system.
Yeah.
And unapologetically, we're not saying we want to question what you believe in.
Okay.
You understand? Because there are people that are listening that are not believers in whether Christianity or Islam or Buddhist or what have you. Whatever you believe in, even if you say you're an atheist and you don't believe in God and you believe in the Big Bang Theory, the Big Bang Theory has created this, right? You believe it was the Big Bang Theory that created the world. But look at what the Big Bang Theory has done. It's created 42 nerves on your face, very accurate. It's created 2 arms for you, why? It's created 2 legs for you, why? It has fitted you in the way, or if you believe in evolution, that we came from animals, whatever it is that you believe. But can you ask your question, why was I given all the things I've been given? Why did I transform or metamorphosize from an animal into the person that I am today?
So your answer is being anchored on the question of asking, why am I here?
Why am I here?
Why
What is my purpose? Why am I here?
Okay.
So you need to question that. And like I said, no other person, whether they're a believer or not, can answer that question for you, because they are human like you. They have errors like you. They have their weakness like you, and they are gifted differently, and you are also gifted. So it's either you've believed too much in another man to define you, and you not looking into yourself to define yourself.
I agree with you on
Whatever it is that you believe in, you have to look into yourself and where you come from, whether you believe in evolution or Big Bang Theory, or you believe in Jesus, or you believe in Buddha. You came from somewhere. So question that.
True. I had a chat with a guy yesterday, and he said, I want to be a rapper. I believe in it so much, but the thing is, the people around me, they're not even giving me that energy to do what I believe in. Some people, I think most of us are here, we function better when we have like positive people around us. I believe in energy more than anything, before even religion. I believe in energy. Most things I've acquired in my life has been energy. I just speak into it. I say, okay, you know what, if I'm surrounded by millionaires, I can be a millionaire someday. I always surround myself with people who have like positive views about life and all of that. That can even make you, who feels less of yourself, feel more of yourself, because your friend is always gassing you up. Like when you do makeup, you have your best friend saying, oh, like you're so amazing. Even when you're feeling low, that can even boost your confidence.
I disagree.
It doesn't do that for you? I'm an artist, I know, because when I'm on stage and I say, put your hands up, everybody puts their hands up.
Yeah.
That's a confidence booster as an artist.
Okay.
If I do this, everybody do this. It's a confidence booster. Imagine you getting on stage and you say, everybody say yay, and people are looking at you like this.
But the reality behind that is short-lived. I think that what we want to be is individuals that can stand firm even without the boosting.
How many people?
But then you
Very
cannot.
few.
But I think that then the conversation is not to rely on the boosting moments. It's to start creating patterns that establish to have strong what you call foundations. Because if it's just a booster, then someone else can also boost you down.
But
so that's the only issue.
I know everybody keep feeling like we're like, you know, when women says I'm a strong woman, we are not strong people.
Wow.
Like people are not strong. I'm telling you, some people come on social media.
Yeah.
I've seen people, I'm talking from experience. I've seen people who on social media, they give the best advice. In reality, they're breaking down every single day. They're crying in the bedrooms every single day.
Precisely,
so,
that's why.
But we don't accept. I accept, like, I can be strong, sometimes I'm strong, some days I'm not. I tell people that. But some people say, no, I'm strong all the time. No, we need that confidence booster. Even as a dad, I'm a dad. I see my son, he's like a year, 6 months. I see when he does something and I go, yay! He's so excited. He wants to do it again.
It's true. Encouragement is needed.
But what we're discussing, thank you, Vanessa, for that word. Every one of us needs inspiration and encouragement all the time.
Straight up.
But we are dealing with self-worth. What if nobody encourages me? How do I perceive myself? I'm thinking, this is self-worth. How do I perceive myself? Have I come to accept myself? In the sense that I may be gifted differently than you. I need to know my gift and accept it, that this is my gift and yours is yours. You understand it? So when I look at my own gift, I don't feel put down because you have something different. I don't feel less of myself because you have something different. I'm just happy. This is me. I've come to accept me, and I can do something great with this package. And that's it. And I think that's what we're talking about in terms of self-love. But I think you are bringing a point which is also valid. We all need cheering every now and then.
Even God needs it.
But I want to answer something. Yes. You said, I loved your question because you mentioned a girl, and then you mentioned colorism, and you mentioned dark skin.
Yes.
That's something that I deal with all the time, and I just want us to seriously deal with it. I don't believe people grow up or are born hating themselves. I think that we live in a very fast-paced society, and because of social media, the demand for beauty is extremely fast. And I'm in beauty, so there's a demand to produce beautiful and get better all the time. I am going to completely agree with you and say two things. You need to stop seeing who you're seeing. Because I think you know how in psychology, I'm a psychology major, they say you are a product of nurture and nature. Who raised you and the environment that they raised you. Now, because we're on confinement, the environment that you're raised in now confined into a phone. Where before it was a society, it was a community, and your parents put you in a certain school, and then you no longer have a choice on the person you become, because like your good aunt, and then your aunt gives you advice whether you like it or not. But now there's a social media that gives you the information that you want, and often that information is comparative. And often that information tells you that you're not light enough or body curved enough, or all those things. We can say that social media is the problem, but that's a wasted conversation, because people are getting income from social media. I think now we need to be wise in who we follow and when to shut off.
That's why I say positive energy. Like,
I like
absolutely. But then I think we must also link it, because after you stop following, and if you still feel no self-worth, you need to link that, okay, fine, I've acknowledged that this person is poison to me. That's great. I'm going to let them go. But then that still leaves me a void. And I think that void is definitely filled by the manufacturer.
Now you go to the next person. The next person.
No, I don't think it's not a person. I think if we have a conversation on people, we're always going to be left empty. But if you have a conversation of who is my manufacturer.
Can I jump in there? Remember when Pastor spoke? He said you cannot depend on, if I may just summarize what you said, we cannot depend on people's opinion of who we are. So on social media, people are going to say things, they are people, I believe. and they have their opinion. But the fact that they have their opinion, we shouldn't let that model our idea of ourselves.
Yeah.
Just we're talking about being dark or not dark, colorism and all that. These are the issues that have been brought up in the society, and I know a lot of people that are dealing with it. They are successful in what we see outside, but inwardly they are feeling like, and like you said, Vanessa, they were not born with that sense. Somebody put the idea in their head. So what we are doing is, how then do we help such a person? What can we do? I'm already here. I'm successful in what I do. I have, you know, my own car, if I might put it that way. My career is, you know, it's doing very well and all that. I have great family. I have talents and all that. But I've heard long enough that I'm too dark. Your skin tone is too dark. And I second guess myself. I look at other people. Every other person is beautiful, but I'm thinking, I can't stand with them because I'm not beautiful. Then what can we do to such a person? What advice can we give to such a person? Because this program is supposed to be educative.
Pastor already said it. He said, only you can tell yourself that.
I want your opinion.
And I agree with you on that. Only you can tell yourself that. Even in your, let's take it out of church now.
Okay.
In your relationship lives.
Yes.
I don't date a girl who's not happy. Don't tell me, don't come to me the first date you're saying, I'm not happy, I'm looking for a man who's going to get me happy. No, I don't do that. I can't.
You can't.
I can't make you happy. You need to be happy first. Then when you come, I make you happy.
What if you can help such a person? What do you think?
I don't think nobody helps me. Like, I don't think anybody can help you be happy. Like,
Really?
people, you can go buy yourself stuff. You can go take trips. If you're not happy, you're not happy. Trust me.
Yeah.
Only you can tell yourself, like, only you can make yourself happy. Don't go waste money thinking somebody else out there can make you happy.
Pastor, will you say happiness also has something to do with self-worth?
Permit me again to answer your question based on terms, because I'm very careful on the use of terms when we say happiness. What is happiness? And because another word I would like to bring in to answer your question is joy.
So good. Yeah.
Right. Because what makes you happy? You might not self-love yourself, but you can be happy at different times of your life.
I think I'm going to tweet.
Love that.
Right. So you can have self-love and still be unhappy.
And you can also not.
You can
Yeah,
also
be happy.
you can be happy and not have
Have
self-love.
self-love.
I want to hear what you're going to say about the joy and how you're going to link it.
Right. So, but you see, joy is, you cannot not, if you have self-love, you will always be joyful.
You always. Can you hold it a moment before
Love
you
that.
complete that? Please don't lose that.
All right.
If you are watching us and you are listening, if you are yet to subscribe, you need to do so right now. Go to our page, you need to subscribe and make comments, like, comment, and turn on the notification. So I will come back to Pastor right now.
Right.
You were talking about joy and happiness.
Yes.
Yes, you can carry
So
on.
I'm saying, if you have self-love for yourself, you will always be joyful.
You will always be joyful.
Always be joyful.
If you have self-love.
Love for yourself, because the two are intertwined. The two they work together.
All right.
Does that mean there are times, so does that mean I will always be happy? No.
Okay.
I have self-love, but there are things that are happening around me that makes me unhappy. The state of Africa makes me unhappy,
Oh, that's a big.
right? But I have self-love. I understand the love I have for myself. But the state of something or somebody doing something to me can make me unhappy, but cannot take away my joy.
I like that.
And when you understand that concept, and because it's an ideology actually, when you understand that ideology, you're able to overcome a whole lot of things, even in your unhappy state. So like Calvin said, a lot of people go do shopping to make themselves happy, but they still don't have self-love.
I know a case like that.
You know, so they go on travel trips. A lot of people do a lot of things to gratify self, but it's not coming from within.
Yeah.
They think when they acquire that, it will fix things
Fix
within.
things for them.
But it doesn't fix things within. These are from
within
you, the
because-
real you, the makeup of you, your identity is what makes that count.
So if I may say this, are you saying the things around does not necessarily make me to love myself? The house, the car, I may be happy about them, I'll be so glad I have them, but they don't necessarily make me to love myself, to feel worthy.
So can I answer your question with practical life realities around
Yes.
life?
Yes, you may
A
just-
lot of people have material things, multi-millionaires. Why do they commit suicide?
Good question.
So, like we say from West Africa, where we come from, you can buy the most expensive bed, but you cannot buy yourself good sleep.
Come on.
You can buy the most expensive clothing, you cannot buy yourself the fitting to look good in them. So it says a lot.
It says a lot about you.
Yeah, you can drive the nicest car and you're still unsatisfied.
Yeah.
So there's this American footballer called Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders was a professional American footballer, multi-millionaire, houses, cars. He said, I've played all the touchdown, I've won all the medals, I've driven all the fast cars, I've built all the mansions. And when an American footballer tells you he lives in a mansion, he lives in a mansion. But he said there are some things that were missing inside of me. I felt he married the most beautiful wife, but I was still not
Still
satisfied.
felt empty.
I was still not fulfilled. What is that? Then he began a search and he got the answers. So that's what everyone needs to do to understand. It's not these things around us.
It's not things around.
Titi, happiness is free. You don't need to buy it. Like, it's free. It's from within.
It's free.
Yeah, if you buy whatever, if you're not happy, you're not happy, like I said. This friend of mine, 3 days back, he just came back from here. He stays in my estate. We were taking a walk, and he just came back, and I went to his room. He has over 50 pairs of shoes. Gucci's, and he spent over 400,000 rand on clothes and went to be here. And I go sometimes to Mr. Price. I'm still here. You know, he came back and he's like, I think I didn't buy those stuff because I needed them, because I wanted people to look at me some certain way. So it wasn't because he wanted to do them.
So those stuff do not necessarily make us.
Yeah, money is not what makes us, money makes you comfortable.
Okay.
It doesn't make you happy.
That means, sorry to cut in, just to go back to what Pastor said, that we need to find that inner peace. We need to trace ourselves back to our Creator
Absolutely.
and find the question of who am I in Him, and then also ask the question and find the answer to why am I here? For what purpose am I existing? I know that my husband normally said this, that you're living is not equals to that you're existing is not the same thing as living.
Absolutely.
You can be breathing the air, you are just
Existing.
but
Right.
you have to live.
You have to
Yes.
You have to live, and that living, it only comes from you, from within,
Right.
not from things outside.
Right.
All right, thank you so much for those answers. And I believe those who are listening to us, you are being educated in this and you are being informed. And I believe some of those words have been spoken and they are helping you. If you are yet to subscribe, go to our YouTube page, ensure that you subscribe, ensure that you like, you comment, and turn on the notification button. Now, the last question I'm going to ask. Since we have touched on these issues, then I want to ask, what are the signs that somebody doesn't have self-love? Especially those people that they have it all, and they may not even have it all. What are the signs we can see, maybe in our siblings, in our BFFs, and so on? What are those signs that we can see? There is a little problem about self-love in this individual. What are those signs? Can I start with you, Vanessa?
Oh, that's such a heavy question. I feel like the fact that you're still alive means that you're still discovering yourself. I don't think that there's any human being that completely loves himself and is still living. Because I think that in every interaction, in every experience, you understand a new, for me, it's going to be God. And then the more I understand, the more I I don't want to say feel, because I'm very sensitive about the word feel. The more I connect with God's love, the more forgiving and loving I am to other people.
Okay.
And in doing so, I love myself even more. So I don't believe that I'm fully complete, this perfect being. I think that as I talk, someone is seeing flaws in my self-love, because I'm still a human being experiencing, you know what I mean? So I think the hope is to, I would probably recognize, I think it's a very hard question to answer, because now I don't want to be walking around saying you don't have self-love, because I mean, it's not, I mean, that's definitely the conversation of the Holy Spirit. It's not my matter, because God is also working in me and through me. So I don't know, it's a hard question. I think that instead of asking how to identify it, I think maybe it's also how to see it in yourself. For me, I completely 1,000,000%, if there's anything I want to say today, is I think connection, understanding who your maker is. I was having a conversation, if you don't mind me saying the story. I was having a conversation with my mom, and we were talking in the family, and we were talking about this COVID time, and we're like, oh no, you can't talk, you can't do this. And then my mom just said, but who promised you guys life?
Wow.
Who promised you that tomorrow you're going to be alive? You're promised that we're living a spiritual experience in a physical body that's short. But who promised you that tomorrow you must be alive? It's not for you to say that, no, I must be alive, I can't talk, we can't visit. It's not yours. We're going to take the precautions, but it's not promised. So even in the conversation of self-love, I think that forgive yourself, have the experience, and I think be kind to yourself and to others.
Kind to yourself.
In conversation about material things, I think King Solomon says it best. I think I've acquired, I had a brothel, I had this, I had all these things, exactly what your friend, the soccer player experienced, and I find them to be meaningless. So to compare, I wish like the Holy Spirit could come as a person and show us self-love.
Sure.
But for me, I think a human being that's living, I don't know.
I'm going to direct the question to the gentleman, because we thank you for your answer, Vanessa. You've said so much in that short, you've blessed me with what you said. But I'm still going to ask the question again. What are the signs that you can see in someone? Because when you see the sign, you are able to kind of push them in the right direction to find solutions,
So good.
whether directly or indirectly, because you are seeking help for them. What are the signs then that if one sees, these are the pointers, this person is suffering from this and this person needs help? I'm not saying we are judging, but then signs will manifest, but we need to help them. So what are the signs?
I've got one.
Okay, go ahead.
Just real quickly, because it's got to do with my work.
Okay.
The other time my friend asked me that, do you ever get someone that comes to your chair with makeup? Like early in the morning at 6 o'clock, someone comes with makeup, and I'm like, actually a lot. And I'm like, don't you think that's alarming that someone is coming from their house to your chair with makeup? I would say that's a sign of self-hate. Not self-love. Let me not make it hate, but I think it would be a sign, because you're leaving from your car into my chair. Why do you feel the urge to still cover yourself? I do think. In terms of makeup.
For those who are listening,
Yeah.
she is a professional makeup artist.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what she meant by coming to my chair,
She's
a professional makeup
Yes.
artist. All right, that is a sign.
Yeah, I think that's
a
huge sign.
All right,
Yeah.
Calvin, what signs do you think one can see?
There are a lot.
Okay,
I feel like
just give us some.
we all have saying things that we originally like. Not things that were influenced by your friends or peer groups. We like. When you start doing things because other people are doing it, that is one time. Because I have friends who like Android phones.
Are you talking about fashion? Because fashion has trend. When the trend comes, we all go with the trend. Are you talking about fashion?
Trend doesn't matter. Like, hey, there are a lot of trends right now. You decide to dress this way, right? Because you like it.
Yes.
That's it. But if you want to look like her because you feel like she's gonna get you, by you looking like her would make you gain more followers, no. It's like you need to do the things that you really, really like. There are people who like Audi cars, but 5 of my friends are driving Mercedes, so now I'm going to Mercedes.
I think you like.
I'm a guy. That's what we like.
Cars now a couple of times.
So I'm here to talk about the real world
So you should
situation.
be in What Do Men Want?
Definitely.
You don't want me there. You don't want me there. You understand? So I think the same things that we like.
Yeah.
Like I told you earlier on that I wake up in the morning, if I want to walk to the shop, I do it. Some people don't want to do that. They don't have money to even take an Uber. Then they go borrow money from you just so they can look good in an Uber. So just do what you like. And don't look at any other person progressing, thinking, okay, why is my life like this? No.
So one of the signs you are trying to say is that when somebody is not being original to themselves, they just like to copy because
Tell
this is
yourself
what
the truth.
makes you popular and accepted. You just want to do it, even though if it makes you unhappy, you are willing to do it.
Yes.
That is one of the signs. Okay, Pastor, please give us some of the signs that.
The one that jumps to mind now, there are a lot of them, like Calvin said. It's external affirmation.
Okay.
You want people to affirm you. You want people to, if they don't affirm you, then it's a problem. You even complain about it. So that for me is a sign I will see that this person doesn't really know who they are or have a self-worth or self-love for themselves. Because the person that should affirm you is you.
Thank you.
If you don't affirm yourself, people will not affirm you.
Yeah. So true.
People drag energy from you.
Yes,
to affirm
so yeah.
True.
So
when somebody needs other people to affirm you before you feel good about yourself, it's a sign.
It's a sign that you might, we're not talking about encouragement, but affirmation.
Okay,
yes, yeah.
Not cheering.
Not cheering,
Yeah.
yes.
All right.
And even if people don't cheer you, cheer yourself.
Oh, fascinating.
We say from West Africa, if I don't sell myself, who will sell me? I'm the first marketer of me.
True.
And for you?
I think one of the signs I've seen that I've identified that shows somebody doesn't love themselves is they compare themselves to other people frequently and in all levels. So I think that is a huge sign for me that this person is suffering from this. And of course, I would love to help, but I don't embarrass people. In rounding up this conversation, I would like our guests to give final words before we totally close. So who should I start with and give final words?
Please don't look at me.
The ladies first.
Or should I start
Calvin, I feel like you're giving me the energy of the fact that you're ready. Are you going to receive this?
I'm always ready.
Go for it.
Okay, Calvin.
I think life is easy.
Yeah.
That's for me.
Yeah.
Life is so easy. People just complicate life all the time.
Yeah.
Life is easy.
Stick to your budgets. Whatever you can afford, stick to it. If you can't afford it, don't go there. Don't complicate your life.
Okay.
Happiness is free. No matter how much money you have, it needs to come from within. If you are unhappy when you're broke, you're still going to be unhappy when you're rich. Money doesn't make you happy. It's just a means to a comfort level. That's my own opinion.
That's your final.
That's my final remark.
Thank you for that final remark. And I now go to Vanessa since
Yes.
you draw energy. So what is your final remark?
I only have this. I think I would say be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself quickly. And fail quickly also, but and fail better. But forgive yourself quickly and be kind to others. I think if you being kind to yourself, meaning that financially make wise decisions and get educated, and be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
Emotionally, and also I won't lie, guys, I know that everyone is going through a different journey, but surrender to that which made you. That will help you a lot.
Surrender to your maker.
Absolutely.
And be kind to yourself. Okay.
For me, it's Jesus Christ, by the way. Let's just establish that before we go.
All right, that is clear.
Yeah.
Now, Pastor, what is your final word?
Final remarks will be, there's a school of life.
Ooh.
And you need to get yourself to understand that school of life. Whatever you believe in, Calvin spoke about energy. Where does that energy come from? You need to question. That's the school of life. We believe in Jesus, Christianity. Some people believe in Islam. But whatever it is that you believe in, learn from the school of life. When you understand and you can answer some questions about why and what do I believe in and why am I here in this life, which are the lessons you learn in the school of life, then you're halfway to answering a whole lot of vital questions about yourself, about your life. I'm a believer. I believe in Jesus. I grew up in a Christian home. But I've become a man that some of the things I learned in Christianity, my Christian home, some of them are error. School of life has taught me that. Is Christianity error? No. Some of the things
Some.
I learned,
Some.
doctrines, are error. Some. Is Christianity error? No. Right. So those are the things we learn. When you become yourself, when you are now yourself, you begin to learn things in life and give it time to learn things in the school of life.
So good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And in rounding up, my final word is, when it comes to self-love, how did I come to the point of loving myself? I draw that strength from the story in the Bible about the prodigal son. The father in that story accepted the child, the son, no matter what that son has done. I see myself in the picture of the son, and I see God in the picture of the father. I know that God loves me. Internally, I am happy. I have come to accept myself. I do not allow whatever people say to pull me down. Be kind to yourself. Be generous to yourself. Be true to yourself. And if you need help, please do seek for help. Don't cover it up. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to say thank you to all my guests today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Really good.
With you. Thank you for those who are watching. If you are watching, you're listening, you are yet to subscribe, you know the right thing to do. Subscribe to our channel and make sure you like, you make comments, and turn on the notification button. Thank you so much. God bless you.